So,
My name is Sam Shakes.
hi Sam.
I am. All my life, I was born here.
You were born here.
Yeah. Both my parents are from the Caribbean. My father's Jamaican and my mum's Monstrasian.
First generation?
The second. I facilitate courses for people with long-term conditions, helping them to improve their whole lifestyle, as it were, even though they have a long-term condition. I also am an author of 2 self-published books. I facilitate a writers group that meets fortnightly, and the function of that group is to help people write their stories in order to get themselves into a bit of, well, it's like a therapeutic process for themselves and also for others to be inspired by the story that they tell. I also offer one-to-one advice for such writers in order for them to complete their story and get it published. Well, when I wrote the first title, which was about 3.5 years ago.
Sorry, do you mind me asking what the title of your books are called?
Right, the first title is called Then Life Took Control, and it's autobiography. It's based on 3 years of my life. Basically, I had radical surgery after being diagnosed with a long-term condition. And what you see in that first book is excerpts from my journal. So it's basically, it appears as a journal, and you see the lead up to having a long-term condition, then the whole journey that I had after that. So I experienced alcoholism, and I also experienced mental health challenges. And then in the end, I managed, and I'm still managing to live very well. So that's what you see in the first book. And that was given 4 out of 5 stars as recommended reading for the health professionals and the general public. It's doing well. I think in terms of social economics, the gap has become wider. I think that it's made most of the population in Hackney less able to reach some of the services. And so from what I see is there has been a move to somewhat more poverty in the general and the original population that were here 10 years ago. However, it's increased in a fluctuation of international people coming in, and what I mean by that is perhaps, just international people have come in, a very creative group of people have come in, and yet still it seems like there's a bit of an elite going on. So whilst it's grown in the creative side and there seems to be loads of things popping up, it's kept very much to the elite and not the general population of Hackney.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's to do with economics. I think it's also to do with a lack of knowledge about what we are able to plug into in terms of the arts and the creativity that's offered here in Hackney. But what screams out more at this moment in time, that there are arts and there are theatres and exhibitions going on. However, it doesn't feel comfortable for the generation that were here maybe 10 years ago. It feels like there's a bit of a barrier. No. Well, the last time I visited the museum was the Jeffrey Museum, and that was when they had the exhibition of the front room. Now, I can't remember how long ago that was. The West Indian front room. So I would estimate that was probably about 3 years ago. And I was spurred to go along because of my mum. Now I'm becoming a bit more, I should say, interested in the arts. I may have found that there's more out there than I know. So what I'm basically saying is when you start to research and you have an interest, you then find things that you think, oh, I didn't realise that was there. However, it's not in my face at the moment. What's more in my face is the new art that's coming in. So when I say the new art, like the pop-ups that are close to Haggerston and Shoreditch, I can see that I can see right now. So in terms of, say, Hackney Empire, I mean, it's always been there, but I mean, are the shows really shows that I want to do? And are they even accessible in terms of price? So, yeah, and I know that the Rio Cinema is there. Just because I haven't been there, I do have knowledge that it's there, and, you know, it's one of the cinemas that are available in Hackney.
Do you think that if there were more free shows at the cinemas, that people might be more inclined to go?
No, I don't think so. I think the creative arts, just as you're saying that, in some sense it seemed to have they've taken a back seat with the wider population of Hackney. So I'm talking about people that are perhaps on a wage that may not be able to afford it. So there's something about affordability, I think, and just going past the Hackney and seeing that the average ticket, and I think just seeing the prices before, are about £20. So I think there's that aspect. And just as we're speaking now, if I was really to think about going anywhere that had art, so even something like a comedy night, I always think of Islington. So there's something about the area of Hackney for me that also has a bit of a barrier, and I'm not sure where that's come from because I've just realised it as we're speaking.
Right. Do you think that the types of pop-ups that you were talking about, why are they more attractive to you rather than something that's been there for maybe 10 years or 15 years?
Because it seems more vibrant, it seems new, it seems exciting. And it's different energy that it's creating.
Is it the feeling of being a part of something new, being part of something that's just begun?
I think so.
Right.
Yes.
And you mentioned that you would prefer Islington. How do you think that Islington differs from Hackney?
There feels like there's more entertainment that side of town, and it may not be true. It just feels like that. And I suppose really what I could do is, because I know Shoreditch is thriving now, and I've seen it just on a sort of an ad hoc basis. Maybe I need to mill around Shoreditch because I know there's a lot going on there. However, again, the general pop, so I'm thinking about people that live close by to me, my neighbours, and I know that many of them who I've lived with for like 18 or 19 years in Hackney, they haven't visited the cinema for years. They haven't been to the theatre for years. I don't know why that might be, but I do know that they haven't been.
Do you think it might also have got to do with the types of productions that are put on? Do you feel like productions that are put on are relevant to different types of demographics, or just maybe a single demographic?
I think there is something about relevance. So, yeah, it's not attractive to the general pop. I don't know if I'm being stereotypical here. But yeah, I think that could be to do with it. I think it would be more theatre, more plays, more drama.
What effect do you think that would have on Hackney? A positive one?
I think depending on the theme and what's being offered, I think it would have a very positive impact on Hackney. Just because of what is going on, and I suppose really I'm being a bit biased, I'm going back and thinking the reason why drama and theatre, because people would be able to act out and perhaps express themselves, or at least plug into some of the themes that are going on in Hackney, some of the challenges, some of the positive changes that are going on.